Hey guys, welcome to another roundtable with Redfin conversation. We have two really experienced agents with us, both from Western Washington. Western Washington is well represented today on our call. Hi, Joy. Hi, Christine. How are you guys?
Good, good. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, John.
Thank you for participating with us. I think we might have a couple other agents pop in later, guys. And when they do, we'll just let them join the conversation. But to start things out, Marcia is here. Marcia is going to tell us what question that our YouTube audience has been asking. So these are questions that are highly put up on YouTube. Large number of people asking them. So we want to answer their questions for them. What's our question for today, Marcia?
Okay, you ready, set, go. Okay, so you have worked really hard with your client, your seller, your buyer, and you finally are in escrow on a really fun transaction. And then whammo, the deal starts to unravel. The deal is falling apart. Okay, ladies, what is the number one reason that deals fall apart? And what do you do to try to fix that? Joy.
Wow, that's a gigantic question. It's overwhelming, and of course, it's like a roller coaster for the whole process. First thing of first, on Washington's purchase and sale agreement on the first page, there's a column for information verification period. So all the buyers need to do all the due diligence about the property, what's the zoning on this property, if you are satisfied with the future potential zoning of this property. So that's called the information verification period. So if for any reason the buyer don't like it, they can back up in 2 or 3 days, right? And then second of all, of course, is the biggest thing is the inspection. As we know, the buyers are advised, and it's to their best interest to do all the inspections. Then they make sure the properties are to what they're expecting, and there's no immediately repair and projects on the property, so they don't have to spend extra money on top of what their offer price. So inspection can be anything from roofing to foundation and anything in between, right? And so, inspection is definitely, it's like a big hurdle for the whole process for the seller and also for the buyers. And the third is financing contingencies, right? For financing, there's a lot of, how do you call, different things can happen for financing. I mean, John and Marcia can chip in on that aspect. I have some overseas buyers, they told me, hey, my family is going to chip in some gift fund for my transactions. And they say, oh, they wire the money to me. Wow, that's a big not red flag, but it's going to make the underwriter nervous about the whole transactions, and it's going to delay the whole process. So talk to John and Marcia, as far as financing on the gift funds. And of course, before the closing, they will ask for your W-2 as well. So what if people got laid off, you were in the middle of transaction going to close, I said tomorrow, 2 days, and I'm sorry, I cannot provide W-2, then deal has to fall through, right? And also as we know what happened in stock market 2 days ago, right? Some people have financing contingencies, say, hey, I have this stock in my portfolio. And so you're expecting, the stock is going to be sold at that price while you make the offer, but who knows what's going to happen in 3 to 4 weeks. And, if stock price is not there, I'm sorry, the deal has to fall through, right? So, and another thing is the biggest, common situation right now is 22Bs, that for the sale, contingent on the sale of the buyer's house.
Oh, I think we lost Joy.
I think we lost Joy momentarily. I bet she'll be back. Christine, you want to pick up where Joy was going there and add to any, what's the biggest kind of problems you've seen and how do you deal with them?
Well, I think if I remember the question correctly, Marcia, was it right before closing specifically? Is that the question?
Oh no, it was just in general. You worked really hard to get your client in escrow, and all of a sudden, anytime the deal starts falling apart. What is the biggest reason for that, and how do you fix it if you can?
usually, like, I think by better preparing ahead of time, because it's usually nerves or finance, and hopefully you've hooked them up with a lender that has really prepared them, and that we've got a really good communication going, so we know that they're solid. But if it's, so that shouldn't happen at that point. But if it does, we just kind of go into damage control. But, I mean, that's such a broad question. I think that's why Joy's going so like into it. But, buyer's remorse I'm seeing, like I've gone full into contract recently with a woman after about 5 or 6 tours and found a super deal, but just wasn't ready to move. Like she just emotionally wasn't ready to move. So, I mean, it's hard to answer a question that broad, to be honest, but hopefully, you've got a good relationship with your buyer. You've kind of anticipated, maybe some weaknesses or strengths, and, just handle those as you come along. But I just like to be ultimately prepared based on what I have. And sometimes you just can't salvage it. Sometimes you just can't.
Good thought though, Christine. Being well prepared solves a lot of problems, that's for sure. But now and then.
Yep.
Sloane, you've joined us. I bet you have some probably good ideas on problems.
Hi, you guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay,
We
good.
hear ya, we see ya.
All right. I'm in the field today. Just wanted to say that the North Shore of Oahu is a little overcasted, but it is beautiful.
Who is it?
The waves are pumping. It's a gorgeous day on the North Shore. Okay. Joy, she was giving us a class. I was like, "Ooh, take some notes, people."
Absolutely.
Okay. Here's my thoughts. I think there's 2 things. One, it's unmet expectations.
Yeah.
So when, expectation and reality doesn't come together, deals fall apart. That's very broad, but that actually lends to what Christine said about, really explaining the process, walking people through what they can expect, preparing beforehand with our buyers so that they understand the logistics. And then, so there's that part, there's unmet expectations, which happens. Then the other thing is logistical situations, like, the inspection and something is broken, or, the roof is a lot older than the buyers wanted. And then the sellers, are not willing to meet what the buyers desire to happen. And then that's where things fall apart. And I think at the end of the day, it can be an array of all kinds of different scenarios. But when I think about all these different deals that have canceled or fell apart, underneath all of it is, unmet expectations. And so that happens, and we understand it. And, that's, sorry, somebody was trying to call me. And that is kind of what our job is to help people navigate that road, whether it's on the sell side or the buy side. And to also say, I mean, this is part of setting expectations that things happen. And it doesn't always work out, but that's okay. We'll find one that will, right? It's that having that like can-do attitude, I think, is so important for us to have, and then help to like encourage our clients through the process, because it can be a roller coaster ride, right? Like I'm working with clients right now who canceled twice, and not to their fault. Like it logistically didn't work. And so, I guess that's my 2 cents.
Fair enough. Joy, you're back with us here. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Did you want to wrap up where you were going with things, Joy? Anything else you wanted to add to the litany of things that can possibly go wrong and how you deal with them?
Yeah, so back to be continued from where I drop off, right? So it's contingent on the sale of the buyer's house. Okay, so that's always like so much uncertainty involved. Like, my client house is like a lot of deferred maintenance, and and the buyer's house also have like deferred maintenance. So that's kind of like, putting two deals together. Like, we don't know where my sellers are going to, whether the buyer's house is going to sold, and if, when, and, just going to be like, so much uncertainty involved. And also another part is like HOA docs. If the house is in the HOA like communities, there's like community rules and regulations, and it's like a lot to read, to study about like the rules for the community. And if for any reason, like say, the community doesn't allow for like any dogs that's over 30 pounds. And as we know, like a lot of buyers, they have pets that's over 30 pounds that they cannot like move into that community. So the deal, of course, has to fall apart, right? So yeah, so that's just a lot of like different cases, small things that we see that can cause the whole deal to like fail apart. So yeah.
Yeah. Guys, you have three really experienced agents here. You can tell because of the answers here. I'm going to kind of summarize it. I think that Sloane nailed it when, and you guys all three kind of said this, when expectations are not met. So they have unclear, confusing, uncertain expectations going in, and then they bump into reality, and that changes the picture for them. So that's certainly part of it. The financing is huge, guys, as all three of them said. We just got to be on board with that. The best way to handle that from our YouTube audience is to get the pre-qualification, pre-approval out of the way up front. Get all your documentation to your loan officer so they can see everything, so we don't have surprises there, because it's not fun to have that surprise at all. And if you start early and get prepared, that takes care of that. And then the inspection, as Joy talked about a lot, that's where lots of problems come up. But I know that we've worked with these three agents for a number of years now, and they know how to handle problems, and so do we. So Marci, you want to add anything to that, like solving problems? Want to focus on that for a minute?
Well, first of all, from a financing angle, don't quit your day job in the middle of a transaction. I recently had a client do that. Oh, it was about at the end of the transaction. And don't go buy that big truck that you always wanted in the middle of a transaction. So, you get pre-approved up front, and then work with experts like these ladies that are going to tell you all the pitfalls up front before you even get going, so you are well prepared and there's just no surprises.
There you go. Well put. Any closing thoughts, ladies, at all?
I think that like a lot of this conversation really also wraps around trust. It's getting to know your client and having a relationship with them. That is so important. And I don't think that can be overemphasized, because at some point you're going to sometimes have to say to them, just trust me, I'm going to lead you in the right direction. They're just going to have to, there's just those moments. And if you don't have their trust, it can be pretty shaky. So yeah, this is a relationship business, hands down. Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well put.
Yep. Relationship and trust.
Yep.
All right. Sloane, any
100%.
passwords? All right.
Oh man, I think Christine said it. That was it. All about relationships.
So, YouTube audience, make sure you like this video. You'll see more of these from our expert agents here from Redfin, and their contact information is going to be on the video. So reach out to any of them directly if you have any questions in real estate. Sloane is in Hawaii. Christine, Joy are in Western Washington. We have Eastern Washington covered. We have Oregon covered. We have Hawaii all covered. So reach out to any of us here, to the right person. Guys, ladies, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Mahalo.
Right,
Aloha.
Aloha.
Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.